Hello. Dry, normal, or oily skin. Which one are you and why does it matter? Well, your skincare is your health care. And when you're on camera, the focus of everybody is on your face. And while we can cover things up with makeup, your skin should be well taken care of and look healthy. And so today's topic is everything you need to know about how to have beaming, bright, great skin so you could show that off on camera. And to help us do that is my very special guest today. She is the founder of a company called Beauté Nouveau, which is a skincare line that is completely exclusive. And she is, I consider her a skincare genius. And if you don't believe me, wait till you see her complexion. So if you want to learn everything she's going to teach us about how to care for your skin, you're going to have to stick around. And we're going to share all of that in just a minute. Welcome to Waist Up Wardrobe. I'm Christine Vartanian, an attorney turned personal style expert and image consultant. As the founder of Jade for All Seasons, I am passionate about unveiling the inner confidence of my clients by developing their personal style and dressing them for success. But is getting dressed up still important in our virtual world? Well, that's where my experience can help with what I call Waist Up Wardrobe. Waist Up Wardrobe is a podcast for all things you need to conduct an outstanding Zoom meeting. It's about how to dress for the camera, but it's not just about the clothes. It's about everything you need to know to show up on brand and professionally on camera. Join me in the Waist Up Wardrobe studio to discuss how to navigate this virtual world and dominate from behind the desk. Hi, Virtual Nation. It's great to have you here once again in the Waist Up Wardrobe studio. We have some announcements and we're going to dive right into our topic for today. But one of the things I wanted to let everybody know is that we are now on the iTunes directory. So you can subscribe to our show and you can download it. And if you are compelled to do so, leave us a rating and review because we'd love to know what you're thinking, how you're feeling about our show and how useful it's been for you. So one of the things I want to mention is that I have this awesome producer, and he is always in the studio, in the background, controlling all the technicalities. That's Rick Moscoso, and I just want to give him credit and let him know that everybody know that he's over there controlling all this technology that we are using during our stream. Also, I want to remind everybody that we want an interaction with you. We want to answer your questions. We want a dialogue. So please drop your comments and tell us what you're thinking in the chat box because we want to be helpful and we want to give you as much information as you need to really dominate from behind the desk on each given topic. And so one of the things I want to remind you of is because Waist Up Wardrobe is really dedicated to help you have an outstanding Zoom session every time and really have everything in this box look on point. And so that you have this most successful and professional way of showing up on camera. Waist Up Wardrobe podcast is designed to build one topic on top of the next, where if you decided to just pick one topic to listen to, you can actually get a lot of value from it. Or if you decide to use every episode and build your outstanding Zoom office, you can. So it's really designed for you and with the professional in mind that is now really working from the virtual room. Okay. So again, drop the comments. We want to hear what you have to say. So, I am so excited today because I get to interview somebody I really, really respect when it comes to the entrepreneurial world and somebody that I think has so much knowledge when it comes to really having super healthy, great skin and a great complexion. Now, you know, a lot of us might think, well, you know, you can cover everything up with makeup. Who cares what your complexion's like? But you know what? As a personal stylist, an image consultant, I really love to work from the inside out because everything matters and your health matters and skincare is healthcare. So today I want to introduce Lacey Hagan, the founder of Beauté Nouveau, this amazing skincare line. And Lacey is the creator of this botanical beauty skincare line. And after years of being a professional makeup artist and working on so many arenas as a makeup artist, she realized that most women that sat in her chair didn't have a lot of things to say about what they loved about themselves. And that kind of got to her. So she was destined, she set out to really create a skincare line that is pampering, that is beautiful, that smells like a vacation and is effective, but also non-toxic and environmentally friendly. And she set out to create this amazing line of products that make women feel loved all the time. So please join me as I welcome Lacey to our show and get to really dive in and talk about all her genius and get that to our audience so that they can also take advantage of all the genius that Lacey has to offer. Hi, how are you, Lacey?
Hi, I am so great. I am so thrilled to be here. Thank you so much.
Well, it's wonderful to have you. And I'm obsessed with your product line, but I'm also obsessed with how beautiful your skin is. I mean, you really preach what you teach. You obviously, use your product, but you also just radiate a skin professional because of the way that you show up. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. I know I did a little intro, but I want to know more, and I want the audience to know more about you.
Yeah, so my name is Lacey Hagen, and it's true, I did create a skincare line. I never actually intended to do that. It sort of happened organically and accidentally, but it's been a tremendous journey. I started working in the cosmetic industry at 16, and I fell in love in every way. I mean, I've always been that little girl who was very excited about handmade soap and potions and good smelling things. So I was attracted to that industry at a very young age and just had so much value. I learned so much. And it's really true what you said in the intro. After about 15 years of working for cosmetic brands and different luxury retailers, I realized after, I don't know, I want to say 10,000 women had sat down in my chair, they never, ever, ever started a conversation by saying, I'd just really love to tell you what I love about myself, and let's elevate from here. It was always a sit down in the chair and there's something wrong with me. Something needs to be fixed or concealed, or, that was the conversation. And I always felt that was so sad to me. I mean, it hurt my heart to know that was the accepted conversation. And I really wanted to change the dynamic of, instead of me validating, no, you're beautiful. Like, let's talk about those things. Like, as a culture, we needed to make a change. We needed to have a different kind of buying experience and a different kind of offering that really made us feel loved without having to think about it. So that really was what turned this line of products into a strong brand, is my commitment to creating products that make women feel loved and taken care of without having to think about it and not having any weird negative feelings.
Yeah. So when you say that they didn't have anything that they described as they loved about themselves, you're talking with respect to their complexion, or was it more than that? Okay. Yeah.
It would start there with look at my crow's feet, and look at, under my eyes, and, my lips aren't big enough, and, my neck is sagging. And then it would usually spiral into, I'm overweight, I'm this, I'm that. And it was usually negative. It was rarely on the upswing. And when somebody's that close in your personal bubble, for some reason, there's this safety of sharing these insecurities that you may not normally discuss openly.
Yeah.
So it was a really round experience where I was sort of let into a secret door, and I got to hear what women would say consistently. And that really drove me.
Yeah, no, I really hear you. I mean, I'm in the business too of really helping women feel great about themselves. And we as women, we do have a lot of insecurities, and sometimes it's just, the way we perceive ourselves. But I just wanted to highlight Maggie Cathy's on, and she's chiming in here saying that she totally agrees. Now, Maggie is a makeup artist, and she's actually been on our show before, and she totally agrees. And she's also heard a lot of those thoughts. And I just wanted to share that she's supporting that idea because it is common. Yeah. So I'm so interested in your career journey, Lacey, in terms of the birthing Beauté Nouveau. I know you explained your why about it, and can you give us a little bit more of a sense of sort of how you decided to launch Beauté Nouveau, or just something interesting about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I definitely drank all the punch. I loved it. And when you work for these cosmetic brands, which, I started at 16 at Garden Botanica, which isn't even in business anymore, but it was a wonderful little apothecary style shop. And then I moved on to Clinique and then Estee Lauder. And then I've worked for Borghese, Chantecaille, Chanel. I've worked as a department manager. So I have had the unique experience of going to training after training after training with these lovely luxury brands. And what they do to train their salespeople is really quite gorgeous and lovely. They book a beautiful hotel ballroom for the day, and quarterly you go and you learn all about the products and the ingredients that are in them, and why they're special and how to use them and how to sell them and who they're for. And in those trainings, a lot of the focus is on ingredients, and you learn a lot about these botanical stars that are supposed to make these products so effective. And for one example, when I worked for one brand, they were launching one of the first really expensive creams to the mainstream market. So the Nordstrom Macy's stores, they normally don't have creams that are over, $150, used to be the high price point. But they were launching a price point that was more like $485. So there was a lot of training. And the training was all about this one magical ingredient that comes from Madagascar. And it's been put through this ultra purifying process to get to the root of the essence. And there was this whole magical story wrapped around it. And I'm thinking, okay, well, when this product hits the counter, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be full of this magical ingredient. That's why it's $485. Well, when it finally hit the counters and you can see the ingredient labels, that ingredient was down in the very, very bottom of the label with like the red number 5 and the yellow number 6. And I thought, wait a minute. If the botanical ingredient is supposed to be the most effective star of this show, why is it at the very end? Why is there the least amount of this ingredient in this jar? So that was very disenchanting to me. And I started at that point doing a lot of ingredient research. And I was also helping my husband, Josh, at the time, who was struggling really badly with psoriasis. So we were doing a lot of investigating on food. We were working with different doctors. I mean, we were doing everything. And I was really focused on ingredients in food. And then I really shifted that focus into deep diving onto ingredients in cosmetics. And I really realized that most of the ingredients that are in cosmetics are unpronounceable synthetic chemicals that are derived from petroleum and don't actually have any benefit on the skin. They are just a base to hold just a tiny bit of a magical story ingredient. They're there for shelf life. They're there for longevity. They're there to feel a certain way, but they don't actually do anything to promote the health of the skin. They clog pores. They create hormonal disruptions in the skin. They create all kinds of issues. They weaken and make the skin more vulnerable. So when I started putting all that together, I wanted to make a product for my husband that he could use on psoriasis. And I would make a bunch at the same time. And I ended up having to give a bunch of it away. I think the first time I gave product away, it was in a Ziploc bag. I mean, that's how fancy it was at the time.
So you're a bit of a chemist too, right?
Yeah.
It was like
I
a
just
chemistry
got in the
lab.
kitchen and started mixing things up. And I thought, you know what? If the botanical ingredients are supposed to be the stars of the show, they should be only in the product. There should be nothing but those. So that's where it started. And people started asking to have more after they ran through their Ziploc bag. And then, I bought jars, and then they decided that they wanted something, they wanted to buy it, and then they wanted to buy more. And it just kind of snowballed that way.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the evolution of it.
Yeah, though that is a really great story. Again, I love hearing about entrepreneurs when they create an idea or create a product, like how the evolution actually occurs, and it usually just is based from need, right? You see a demand for something, a need for something healthy that you wanted to create, and then you had the problem. You had your husband had the psoriasis, so you had a test group, and so and a willing test group, I guess, of one. But that's really where things usually start for entrepreneurs. And I just wanted to also mention, hi, Kristen Levine is on the chat right now, and she's saying that she's reiterating that women really judge themselves really harshly. And it is true, because we really feel like we should be everything for everybody. And we're always working on self-improvement. I think that's probably why we're so hypercritical of ourselves. So I really love this inspiration for Beauté Nouveau. And I love the name, I have to say. I think the name is so beautiful. Beauté Nouveau is French for new beauty, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think it really showcases how much of an exclusive brand it is, and I really, really love that. And I wanted to just say, the thing is, like, especially when you're getting ready for a meeting, or if you're in person or on camera, we really focus on makeup, and that's really important. I mean, makeup is the finishing touch, but because I come from a place where really beauty should be worked on from the inside out. And then it should also, like, your outside beauty should reflect what's going on inside. That all these layers, everything that goes into a person and their health and their wellness and their beauty regimen is important. So how don't you think that skincare is sort of the foundation for like really glowing?
Absolutely. I mean, I love makeup. Don't get me wrong. I am a big fan of makeup. I love full coverage. I love whatever you love. I mean, whatever you want to wear and makes you feel fantastic, please do it. Don't pay attention to rules. Don't let people tell you what you should and shouldn't do if it makes you feel uncomfortable. If it makes you feel amazing, do it. And I love that. And makeup is an optical illusion, and it's just fun. But skincare is like this moment where you're really realizing that you're a human being. Your skin is a giant organ. It was never meant to be beautiful or look a certain way, but it is a foundation. It is a foundation of whatever you want to put on outside, but it's also like your encapsulation. It's supposed to keep your body healthy and keep you functioning, keep your blood and your fluids inside. And it's a huge part of your immune system. So if you are going to lead a healthy, vibrant, active life, you have to take care of your skin in a way that keeps it fully functioning at its best. Because when you're healthy, you get to go and do all the things that you want to do and you're meant to do in this world. So yes, I am a firm believer that skincare is healthcare, and it is about doing whatever it takes to make your skin nourished, oxygenated, hydrated, loved. Those are all the things. I mean, whatever you need as a human being: food, protein, carbohydrates, oxygen, nutrients, love, rest. That is exactly what your skin needs too.
Yeah, I love that. And thank you, Tira, for popping in. Tira Jarvis is on our live stream, and she's saying that she really appreciates this topic because many of us really struggle with it. Because, sometimes we just kind of give up because we don't know what right products to use. And that's actually my challenge. I finally figured out, how to put makeup on for the camera. But because Maggie Kathy helped me, and she really taught me how to do that, and we're still working on it. It's a work in progress. But the skincare really confuses me. It really there's so many products out there, right? And like, how do you choose? And that typical thing about if there's so many choices, you end up not making a decision. So for a very long time, I decided not to really do anything on my skin. I mean, I think Maggie asked me, so how do you take care of your skin? I'm like, I wash it with water. She was like, oh, what? and she's chiming in right now saying skincare is everything. And she always says that great makeup starts with great skincare, which is totally truth, So I just got overwhelmed. And I really, and that's what I wanted to ask you about next is do you ever get that complaint? People are overwhelmed by really choosing a type of skincare as opposed to makeup.
Oh, yes. I mean, first of all, let's even just think about the experience of walking into a department store, cosmetic department. I mean, where do you start? Where do you go? It's super overwhelming to even start at that point. And then once you decide what brand you want to go with, then my gosh, there's products for this skin and this skin and this skin. And in that category, there's a serum, a day cream, a night cream, an eye cream, and you're supposed to know the order that you're supposed to put them in. And it's extremely overwhelming. And then if you try something and it doesn't necessarily uphold your expectations, like what do you do then? You're stuck with this slew of products. You don't necessarily like them. Do you reinvest in something else? It is a very overwhelming experience. It can be.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I opened the show by talking about, the way skin is categorized: oily, normal, dry. A lot of people, I didn't even know this. How do you figure out what you are, first of all? And I know that you, as the founder of Beauté Nouveau, have a very charming scale. You have a different way of rating skin altogether, which I think is so great. But could you tell us, like, how people can tell? Like, is there an easy litmus test or something like that where we can actually tell on that standard scale of oily, dry, normal?
Yeah, the important thing to remember about oily, dry, normal, combination, mature, all of those categories is they are marketing techniques. They are methods in which to sell products. They are not necessarily helpful because your skin will change as you age. We all go through phases. Skin is inherently pointed towards health. Our biology wants to be healthy. Our biology doesn't want to be oily or dry or combination. We can do things that can make the skin vulnerable. It can behave in certain ways because of how we're treating it. If it's exhausted, if it's malnourished, if it's dehydrated, if we're having hormonal imbalances. And I just really don't feel like normal, dry, and oily really speak to that. It's a way to easily compartmentalize purchasing behaviors. And it changes. And you can be, if you're combination, how can you treat this part of your skin and this part of your skin differently than this part of your skin, all with the same product lines? So for me, I'm not into that. And I think when you really break things down, like, okay, so we have skin types, right? Well, do we have heart types and eye types and pancreas types and lung types? Like, no, because that is not related to purchasing products. So for me, I am always thinking about female empowerment and taking insecurities out of the buying situation. And I love a little bit more of a softer, more feminine thought process.
Yeah, I find it pampering. I feel like when you talk about your scaling of classifying skin, it's more of a pampering way to do it.
Yeah. And, we need things differently as we get older. And, in my 40s, I know that my skin needs different things than it needed when I was in my 20s. It just needs more rich moisture and more antioxidants and a little bit less aggressive treatments and things like that. It needs a little bit more softer care. So our skin types, for lack of, a better word, and just to make it easy, are blossoming for that 20 to 25, 30-year-old, blooming for when you're like 35 to 40, 45, and then in full bloom, because we can all visualize a rose blossoming, blooming, in full bloom. It's just a little bit more endearing than oily and dry. And then we have two specialized categories, which are sensitized and suffering. So sensitized is the woman who may be going through chemo or a really stressful divorce or something where everything is amplified and your skin is reacting. Because if your brain is under stress, your skin is under stress. And then when we get into suffering, we have the categories of like eczema and psoriasis or autoimmune dysfunction of the skin. And the skin needs special care, whether it's full body or it's just specialized areas. But that's how we break it down to make it a little bit easier.
I love that. I really enjoy that. I feel like it adds to the experience of having your product, right? To have this really ultra feminine, luxurious, the whole brand. I love the branding around it. So Melissa Woods popped in here and she was raving about your product, and she says she gifts it to a lot of people. But one of the things that she says that is really cute that she loves about your product is that you can pronounce the ingredients.
You can actually eat them.
Yeah. So that's really good to know. And it's really good for, for our audience to know as we kind of talk about the product. And Kristen Levine did say that, she really, because we're talking about that overwhelm of like, what do you pick for your skin? She is saying that she confesses she does spend a lot of money on hair care, but to the skincare, she doesn't give it as much attention because it is overwhelming. And so, it's interesting because as women, we kind of have the same complaints about like, where do you start, right? And that's really cool, because that will segue right into my next question. Oftentimes I'll want to try a product, but because of this overwhelm, I really don't know where to start and I give up. Okay. So if somebody were interested in Beauté Nouveau and they just kind of wanted to dip their toe, they didn't want to like invest in all the products, but just wanted to dip their toe. Do you have something that you recommend for that person that is kind of an overwhelm? They're interested, but they're not sure.
Yes. So after helping women for years buy skincare, I know that we're a little shy to jump into the next investment because we do have a lot of past experiences of buying all kinds of things and not necessarily loving them. So what I did was I made a facial starter set with petite sizes, the 5 basic products that every woman would use on their face that is either in the blooming, blossoming, or in full bloom categories. There's a little bit of variation in each option, but the main 5 products are all in there together so that you can use all 5 together, see the full whammy, the full impact, and just have to invest $50. So it's all the things all together with a beautiful booklet telling you exactly how to use everything. And you can try it at your own pace and see if you like it.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And on the screen right now, you'll see the sample of what it looks like so that you can go to the website. And if you are interested in trying out the Beauté Nouveau product, that is a great starting point, which I am definitely going to be investing in. And just for everybody here and that would listen to the replay, we do have the link directly in the chat box that we're going to add at the end of the show. So you'll be able to directly go from here, from my affiliate link, and you can purchase the product or really even browse the website to see what Lacey has to offer. And do stick around till the end, because Lacey has a special gift at the end for everybody that's live on here. So I hope everybody is able to stick around so that we can give you this great little gift. Thank you for that, Lacey. I really love that you have something where people can dip their, I think for any product, it's wonderful to have sort of a starter kit like that. It's a genius idea. So I'm going to ask you something a little bit more personal. Your skin truly is one of the best skins I've ever seen. Like, you really are glowing. You're gorgeous. It's just really, it's happy skin. it really shines. It really, truly does. And, that's awesome because you practice obviously what you preach. But can you give us a little bit of a window into your own skin routine? Like maybe some of the steps that you follow, or maybe your secret? I don't know, like maybe it's genetics, but I doubt it, because you're like, it's not just that, right?
I'm going to seriously have some confessions here. And I am 100% in support of everyone. You do you. One of the reasons that I am so passionate about not having plastic in skincare is that when I was going through helping my husband with all of the health concerns that went around when we were diving into the psoriasis piece, there was all these other things that we uncovered at the same time. Yeah. And I was sitting in the doctor's office with him one day, and the doctor was just basically checking off all these symptoms that Josh was having. And I thought, I have all of those symptoms as well. And when I finally left mainstream cosmetics, I had eruptive cystic acne. I'm talking like bee stings all over this part of my face. And my pores were so congested and so clogged. And it was a major issue for me because, I'm a makeup artist. I'm in this industry. I have to have beautiful skin. So I have really dry skin. I'm going after the really rich, creamy creams, and I'm just piling on the makeup on top of them to cover up this breaking out. And it was just a terrible cycle. So all in all, I will be really honest that since I left cosmetics and I got away from plastic-based products, and when I say plastic, I mean most foundations and creams, the base ingredient is silicone and dimethicone, which is the same ingredient that is in shower caulking. So that's what we're putting on our faces, and we're wondering why we have all these issues. When you get away from that, you don't have clogged pores anymore. You don't have the issues that you had before, and that basically women as a whole are suffering from. Cystic acne as an adult is just rampant in comparison to what it was 25 years ago. So just getting away from that is a huge thing. And I never wash my face at night because I'm just too lazy. I do everything in the morning. I cleanse my skin. I moisturize my skin. So when I get in the shower in the morning, I take the Rosette facial bar soap and I just do a quick wash. And then I take the cleansing milk with lavender and lemon and I lightly scrub it on and I just let it sit for a couple of minutes like a mask, rinse that off. And then I put the Oil Nouveau on in the shower because I like to do things in the shower. While that's steaming in, I feel great. I'm not dry. Then I get out. I put the Creme Nouveau and a little flower water spritz on. And then the reason that you think I have such beautiful skin is the Modern Minerals Powder Foundation. I am a huge fan of this one particular product that we don't make, but it's made by a friend of mine. It's her company. And it is straight mineral pigment. And if you tap that pigment into a bamboo bowl and swirl a brush into it and then press it directly into your Creme Nouveau, you have the most beautiful, perfect makeup. The coverage is flawless. No one even knows you have makeup on. It wears beautifully all day long. Done. We carry it on the website because it is just such a game changer. You never have to think about it, never have to touch it. That is my secret. That's
oh
it.
my gosh. Thank you for sharing that. I love that. Is this the Creme Nouveau that you're talking about? Okay. So this is that top selling item that you were talking to me about a couple of days ago, right? That
Yes.
everybody really in the Beauté Nouveau culture really loves. I love that. I'm going to get me some of that too.
Yeah.
So thank you for letting us in on your secrets. A lot of us, I love that you shared that you do everything in the shower because, that's kind of what we do. We multitask. Is there people, a lot of our audience are really busy entrepreneurs and just busy people. How is there a quick, must do skincare steps that if you had to do just the bare minimum, what they would be? Could you tell us what those would be?
Yes, wash and moisturize. I have a background in my educational background is sociology, which is basically patterns of social behavior. After standing at a cosmetic counter for so many years, I can tell you that I don't know where we've all learned these phrases, but we all say the same thing 1,000 times. We say as women, I want one thing that does it all, and I don't have time for that. So everything that I make takes that into consideration. As many things as I can, as many functions as I can put into one product, that's the goal. And as many things as I can create that you can actually apply in the shower, that's my secondary goal. So like Creme Nouveau is my response to I want one thing that does it all. It is your face cream for day. It's your night cream for night. It's your serum. It's your neck cream. It's your eye cream. It is your foundation base. It's everything. No more primers, none of that. No more of that. One thing, one jar. And that jar should last you 4 to 6 months, depending on how dry you are.
Yeah.
And how often you wash your face. So that is my number one thing. If you can just do one thing, just cleanse and moisturize. All these other serums and all this other stuff, you can do that if you want. But if you don't have time and you don't want to, you don't have to. I put as many ingredients as I could possibly fit in one jar to alleviate having to get all the separate products. So that is my best suggestion. And again, because I like to do everything in the shower, I know that women will stay in the shower for 1 more minute, but once they get out, they have got to put their clothes on and get going. And nobody wants to stand there with goosebumps trying to rub on lotion. Nobody.
Yeah.
And most of us will put stuff on our face, but when it comes to our shins, ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
So the butter balms are our number 2. That is an in-shower butter balm cream. It's basically like Creme Nouveau for your body, but you put it on when the water's still running. So you're like butter on a hot pancake, just melting in while the water is just still like on, and you can stay in there and just review your day for 1 more minute. And then you just towel dry, you just pat dry. You don't even have to rub. You just pat dry, put your clothes on and go. You're ready for the whole day and you never have to worry about anything. And there's a bunch of fragrances you can choose from, but it is a game changer. And every Beauté Nouveau client uses a butter balm.
Love that. I love that. And just on a technical level, if somebody was to start a new beauty regimen or a new skincare regimen, how long do you think they should be patient to see results? Like if they were struggling with something like rosacea or acne or something like that, and they followed a non-toxic great regimen, maybe even some of the Beauté Nouveau products, how long do you think they should be patient to see that? Because things don't happen overnight.
They don't. It really depends on the situation. If it's really eruptive cystic acne, it might take 6 months to a year to truly start healing. Your body isn't a quick fix. It's not a dishwasher. It can't just cleanse out all the toxins and the chemicals really quickly. It's like if you were to eat a waxed apple, I mean, imagine how long that would take to go through you. A long time. So that's part of the issue. It does take a long time. But if your issues are like dryness, dehydration, just overall lack of luster, it would be amazing to have, if you had to wait 6 days to see a result, I would be shocked. I mean, I get a lot of feedback of like, oh my gosh, I've been using this for less than a week and I can't even imagine the difference in my skin. This just blows away my expectation. So it depends. If it's issues like rosacea, I'm just going to be really honest. There's a million products that somebody can sell you for that. But the only thing that's actually going to fix rosacea is laser treatments from a wonderful dermatologist or a plastic surgeon. I mean, those sorts of treatments are required for things like busted capillaries and bursted little blood vessels. Pigmentation, the same thing. Don't spend your money on things that are going to, bleach out your skin or tell you that they're going to solve your rosacea, because it's just not. It might reduce some sensitivity, and these products will calm and soothe and help heal. But when they're really deeply rooted issues like that, it is going to take either a treatment or a long time to heal.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that we are, giving the audience that kind of information, because, honestly, I love that with Waist Up Wardrobe, my goal is to bring all the resources in one hub, right? So somebody can really listen to this one show and know everything they need to know about skincare and what works and what doesn't work. So I thank you for saying that, because that is, that's really authentic, and I love that, and our audience needs to know that. Eloise is on, and she's asking, does the Butter Balm make the shower slippery? And how about if you don't have a shower, don't take a shower in the morning, or you don't shower in the morning? Is there another way to use it, basically?
That is an excellent question. So the Butter Balm is a base of shea butter and babassu oil, and it is buttery. But the benefit of butter, it's like butter on toast. It sinks in. It makes your body smooth and moisturized. But because it melts in, it really stays more in your skin than it is on your shower. It's not like an oil where you put body oil on and then it's like, whoop, I'm out the door. It's really meant to melt into your skin, not get all over your shower. If you clean your bathroom and your shower on a regular basis, you won't have that issue. I wouldn't put it on the bottom of your feet, but exercise some caution, but it is not a shower slippery situation. And if you shower at night, do it at night.
Yeah. That's great advice. Thank you, Eloise, for asking the question, because I'm sure a lot of people would have thought of asking that maybe after the fact. So thank you for that. And please, everybody, just keep those questions and comments coming, and because we really enjoy hearing what everybody has to say, and it really does help a lot of people that haven't asked the question. So everybody talks about clean products, and there's clean products, and then there's clean products. Some people claim to be clean. So, but you don't know as a consumer, that's always also another thing that I wonder about. Like, if a product claims to be clean, what is like one thing, or what does clean product really mean, first of all? And second of all, when you're searching out your clean product, what are the ingredients, or what are you looking for that shouldn't be on there? Or however you want to explain that to us.
That's my favorite question ever.
Awesome.
So that is as overwhelming a topic as where do I start? What do I buy? It used to be overwhelming, and now it's even more, because now we have the green, the clean, the non-toxic. What do these words even mean? And truly, they don't mean anything. Unless you have a very strict definition about what that means, it doesn't mean anything. It's a buzzword. It's a marketing ploy. So we have a very strong definition of what that means. And we have our non-negotiables, and we have what we use. We are fully transparent on the website on all of our ingredients. And our definition of clean is essentially plastic free. So anything that has been derived from petroleum is not used. And petroleum, little known fact, is derived from crude oil. Crude oil comes from the ground. So crude oil is considered natural. So anything that is technically petroleum derived can be considered natural. So you have to be really careful when you are buying product. And the general rule of thumb is we have a list on the website. And if you see words like silicone, dimethicone, acrylates, polymers, copolymers, stop right there, put it down, walk away. If it has those ingredients, it has all the other ones you make sure you want to avoid. So you're just looking for some key ones. And I will guarantee you, if you went into any department store or beauty store or drugstore right now and you picked 15 products at random, you would find those ingredients. So the general rule is if you can buy it at a mainstream store, if it's advertised on TV, don't eat it, don't use it.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, and Kristen Levine chimed in earlier, and she said, she is in the pet industry, and she said she advises her clients the same things. If it can't be eaten, don't use it. Kristen also asked, can the products be used for the entire body, or are they just for the face?
We have face and body.
Okay.
Anything you ever need for face or body, we have all of it.
So, is it mostly, so it's a skincare line, face and body, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's a good clarification. Thank you for that. So I also have Amani here asking, I heard a lot about taking care of hands as well as it could be, because it could reveal age. Age does show up on our hands, and they say neck first. What do you recommend for the care of the hands? And I'm going to add neck, because that is definitely something that challenges us mature women.
I totally understand.
Yeah.
So hands, if really are part of your face, just like you were saying earlier about, showing up on camera, like your hands are part of your face. And I don't have beautiful hands. I have functional hands, and I'm okay with that. But the thing about taking care of hands is we're always using them. And the idea of putting a body cream or a hand cream on, like as soon as you put it on, you're like, I just want to wash this off. My fingers are greasy. I got fingerprints everywhere. So we have a product called Hand Balm, and it's in a very giant like lip balm container. And you just rub it onto the tops of your hands, and you rub the tops of your hands together, and you're moisturized. You don't have greasy palms, and you've taken care of the really delicate, soft skin on the top. And it has jasmine and tuberose flower wax, which is the same thick, dense texture as beeswax. So it lasts a few hand washings. And jasmine and tuberose flower wax are known to help with reducing pigmentation or preventing it. So that's our fix. You can use it on your cuticles. You can take it with you as a quick travel. I had a friend who had a baby, and that was all she could do was lay in bed and rub the hand balm on her face. And that was what she could get done. And then, really watch out for the dish soap you're using. If you're using mainstream dish soap with sulfites and detergents that's breaking down the skin really quickly, use something that doesn't have those in it. And if you can, use gloves. Keep your hands out of the sun. Those are the best recommendations for the hands that I have.
Yeah, no, that's great. I love that you have a product especially for hands, and we had that question pop up. So that's awesome. So it really does address a lot of women's skin issues, no matter if it's a face or the rest of your body. I did notice that you use a lot of great fragrances. Now, with fragrances, I usually don't like fragrance personally, but I love natural fragrances. In other words, I like lemon smells and things that are of nature rather than some of the, more processed feels like scents. Can you give us because your products smell like a vacation. So I just want to know, like, what is it that you guys do typically in terms of fragrances?
Great question. So we have two different kinds. We have fragrances, and then we have essential oils. So depending on what type of smell you like and your sensitivity level, I personally am not a huge fan of fragrance, but sensory and smell preferences are different for everybody. So for the people who really understand essential oils and love them, we have lavender and lemon. That's just straight essential oils. We have Slim Tonic, which is a blend of 6 essential oils that really smells like a spa and helps stimulate lymphatic fluid. It's much more a functional product than it is like a fluffy, smell good fragrant product. And then we do have some other scents that are more fragrances, like white flowers and sweet cream. That is a phthalate-free natural fragrance, not an essential oil. We have the New Paris Sunset, also fragrances with an essential oil. We have Citron Dream, straight essential oil. It's every citrus note you could ever want. So we have both separated out, and we're very clear on the descriptions of each, what is a fragrance and what is an essential oil. And if you want one product that doesn't have any essential oil or any fragrance at all, it's the Baby Bump Butter Balm. You can use it if you don't have a baby bump. But the reason that it's called Baby Bump is because it has cocoa butter instead of kokum butter, which is in the other ones. And that's just because it's a little bit waxier and it's really wonderful for stretching skin. So that is the one option that has no essential oil, no fragrance at all.
Yeah, no, that's a great option to have something that has no fragrance. But I guess that's the difference. For me, I enjoy essential oils. I like lavenders and eucalyptuses and citrusy, but when it's, I guess, a little bit more fragrancy, like florally, that is something that I don't tolerate as well. So
Yeah.
that's really interesting that you made that distinction. So I just, as
one more thing, there's no fragrance in the facial products. It's all essential oils, just in case somebody has that question.
That's great. Thank you for adding that. So I know that you have a super cool gift for us at the end, but before I wrap up, I just want to say, is there anything that is about the skin that I haven't asked you that I should have, that you really need to tell us about?
I think the one thing I love to leave women thinking about is the concept of anti-aging. I'm asked a lot, do you have products for anti-aging? And what I say is we have products for preservaging. We don't do anti-aging because it doesn't make any sense. We're not going to be younger tomorrow than we are today, but we can take care of ourselves in the way that preserves what we have. And I like women to think of their skin as a billion different skin cells that are like balloons, like helium balloons. And when you go out and you get a bunch of helium balloons for a party, in the beginning, they're like really tight and plump and they bang together and they make that fun sound and they look amazing. That's what a new baby skin cell looks like. And then, a few days later, the balloons are like, and they're on the floor and they're kind of withered and they're all over the place. That's what skin cells look like when they get older. So they're born deep inside the skin, and then every day they march a little bit closer to the surface. So they're really, really tight and round when they're born, and then they get a little bit more withered as they get out. A healthy skin cell can live up to 32 days. If you can get your skin cells to live 32 days, girl, you have anti-aged. You have beat the clock. Like, that is anti-aging. Keeping your skin cells alive for 32 days that's the goal. So feed them, give them some sleep, take them on vacation. That's what anti-aging is to us, preservaging.
I love preservaging, and Maggie is reiterating what I'm saying. She loves preservaging too. I love all the branding around your product. I love all the lexicon, the branding lexicon. Everything is so cool. I love, love, love the product. And I'm just going to also say that one of the products that intrigues me is those little things that you put on your thumb. They're like little bubbles, and they're your exfoliators. They're so cute. Like, I want to use that just because it's fun.
So cute. Yeah. And they work. They're little silk. We call them scrub buds, and they're spun silk. And when you put Creme Nouveau on and let it sit for 5 minutes, those dead skin cells, they're ready to come off. You put a little scrub bud in hot water for 5 minutes, stick it on your finger, and then do circles. It is shocking what comes off. I mean, we're so used to getting a scrub and like scrubbing our face. Let's not do that anymore. Like, ballet fingers very gently, and scrub buds are the absolute best way to exfoliate. And anytime I do anyone's makeup professionally, I always use a scrub bud first, and their makeup looks phenomenal all day long.
Oh, that's awesome.
Every day, but once a week is plenty.
Yeah, I love those. I love those. Is there a danger? And I'm sorry, I'm adding questions because I really want to know this. Is there any danger in exfoliating too much?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you can really strip your skin. Is that what happens?
Oh, you can. I mean, think about if you had a brand new baby and you put them out into like the blazing sun. Nobody would ever do that. When you over exfoliate and you expose baby skin cells that are not ready to come out, that's when you have premature aging. So when you scrub and scrub and scrub, that's when you have breakage of capillaries, especially on the cheek, because I don't know whoever taught this, but if you ever watch any woman ever do anything, the first thing they do is take a scrub and go directly on their cheeks. And their cheeks are the most delicate place on the face, So we're not taught these things unless you get me at a cosmetic counter, which you don't anymore. So it's all about being as gentle as possible and exfoliating daily. Like, I suggest my best way of exfoliating daily, put your Creme Nouveau on, let it sit for 5 minutes, take a dry cotton pad and wipe it away. it's disgusting what comes off. If you do that every day, you only need to use a physical exfoliator maybe once every week, once every 2 weeks, but you don't want to grind away your skin.
Yeah.
Would you do that to your liver? No, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
So you can definitely over exfoliate, especially with chemical exfoliators that just sort of like eat through the skin. So yes, please more gentle, more nourishment.
Well, I'm glad I asked that question. That's going to benefit a lot of people as well as myself. So, you mentioned you have something special for us. Before we wrap up, we have a trigger word. It's a hashtag glow and shine. Hashtag glow and shine. Put that in the chat box if you're still here on with us live, because this will get you Lacey's gift that she's offering. Lacey, why don't you tell us about that real quick before we wrap up?
Awesome. So, ladies, I have a printed and downloadable version of our skin type booklet. So this goes over all of our skin categories, all of the products that go along with those skin categories, our philosophies on skin types, and just some really great information about on here. So that is a digital download. All you have to do is hit add to cart and go through the checkout, and it's automatically downloadable. It's full of information, and I can't wait for you to check it out.
Yeah. So the hashtag is hashtag glow and shine. Put that in the chat box so you can get that. It's really a handy checklist. So glow and shine is the trigger word. And right now we're going to move right in and wrap up with the Waist Up Wardrobe weekly wrap up. And Lacey, what that is that our audience gets at the very end the biggest takeaway, the tips, the tools, and action, so we can spring them right into action immediately with their skincare. Can you first of all tell us what is the main takeaway from what you want the audience to really have learned today?
Main takeaways is be gentle with yourself. When you're switching to green products, clean products, don't do it all at once if it's overwhelming. Pick the 2-3 things that you want to start with and just systematically work towards it. It should be fun. It should never be overwhelming. And what works for you? You know, people say, what should I buy? What you should buy is what you will use. If you know you won't use it, don't take it home with you. It should be something like picking out a piece of art, something you really want to look at on the wall.
Awesome. And how about some tips?
Tips, I would say things you can do in the shower, elevate your interest in self-care for sure. I know we always want to make more time for ourselves. We don't always do that. So any way you can have like hacks as to how to make things easier for yourself, we are all about the hacks. And that would be like my big advice. Just hack it into your life instead of trying to change your life to make you fit what you think you should be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to have it adjust to your life. And tools, we have all those links in our chat box, the tools, everything on the website. Check out Beauté Nouveau, the website, because everything in there has a reason and a purpose for pampering the woman. Is there any other additional tools, Lacey? Well, and the checklist, of course, that they're going to get.
Yeah, that, and I send out a weekly blog that is often quite personal and a lot of information. And I'm not much of a bullet point sort of infographic sort of human. I'm about like telling stories and talking things out. So there's a lot of blog posts that go over this information. What is clean beauty? There's a blog post from I think about March that's called something like living my best life, one shower at a time or something. That is a really great blog post about, hacking things into your life. I'm super busy too. And it's just like my little tricks on how to do those things. So I would say, go check out a blog, see if it resonates. There's lots of information.
That's awesome. An awesome tool. Definitely something I'm going to check out. And finally, give us a few action items. We want our audience to be able to go back home and just get started, right? With 1 or 2 things that they could get started with easily.
If you want to clean up your makeup and your skincare, I would say get the things that are closest to the skin, closest to the lips out of your world. So if you have a huge selection of lip glosses that are full of petroleum, stop putting them on your mouth. If you're having any sort of skin issues with breakouts or congested pores, get rid of the foundations that you've been using for your life and look into the Modern Minerals powder and watch the videos on the product listing on how to use it. I'm also working on something else that's going to make color selection a little bit easier. And you can actually also send me a picture of yourself on Instagram or tag me. I have a magical skill of picking foundation colors from a picture. I'm more than happy to help you with that. But I would say just your mascaras, things that are near a membrane, things that are near your lips, start there. And we also carry clean makeup and clean hair care that also meets my standards on the website. So if you're looking at those categories, but I would say those are the best action items. Go look at your stuff, start weeding it out with the most active on your skin at the same time.
Okay, that's great. So there you have it. It's our Waist Up Wardrobe weekly wrap up. Thank you so much, Lacey, for giving us all this rich information, such a value add to each woman's life. I really appreciate that. And I'm just going to say we are on the iTunes directory now. So go and subscribe to our channel, to our show. Subscribe and rate us and review us if you are compelled to do that. And we'd be really appreciative. We're on social media platforms, Jade for All Seasons and Waist Up Wardrobe, on Instagram and Facebook and Pinterest. So please do find us there. And thank you for joining us, Waist Up Wardrobe Nation. Join us here next week again at the same time, same place, where we're going to talk about everything you need to know about technology when it comes to live streaming and being on Zoom. Everything you need to know. I mean, from the internet connection to your mics, to your to the speakers, to the sound, everything that goes into that technology piece. Because is technology really a friend, or can it be a foe sometimes? We're going to be working that out next time. So thank you for joining us, and see you here next Thursday at 11:30 on the Facebook page, and we're looking forward to it.